In April 1965, the Jamaica Defense Force came under complete Jamaican control. During the grand ceremony, Brigadier Paul Crook of JDF handed over the reign to Brigadier David Smith. This signaled the end of British influence in the local armed force. Prior to the Jamaica Defense Force, Jamaica Military began with the Jamaica Militia, which originated in 1662. The militia was a local defense force to protect Jamaica against external threats. It was linked to the racial hierarchy, so restrictions were placed on non-whites joining at various stages in the militia's history. However, as time went by, these restrictions were eased due to the decline of the white population in Jamaica. However, people of color were generally prevented from becoming militia officers. The Jamaica Militia reached its maximum strength at the beginning of the 19th century with a 10,000 infantry and 1,000 cavalry. The military was commanded by no less than 4 major generals. In 1906, at a time of established international peace and after nearly 2.5 centuries of existence, the Jamaica Militia was disbanded. At the start of World War II in 1939, part-time soldiers of the Kingston Infantry Volunteers of World War I were reorganized into the Jamaica Infantry Volunteers. Towards the end of World War II in 1944, in recognition of its unit status, the Jamaica Infantry Volunteers was renamed the Jamaica Battalion, and 11 years later, it was known as the Jamaica Regiment. But in addition to the military forces, the British-controlled West India Regiment played a part in policing the colonies, including Jamaica. The regiment was formed during the colonial era in 1795. It is said that freed slaves and even many purchased slaves were recruited to join the West India Regiment. In fact, records reflect that in 1807, the British Parliament freed approximately 10,000 slaves to join the West India Regiment as soldiers. Its soldiers fought in known battles such as the brutal Caribbean battles in the Napoleonic Wars, the 1812 War between the United States and England, and the Ashanti Wars in West Africa during the 19th century. By 1888, with the decline of the West India Regiment, the two regiments merged into a single regiment with 2 battalions. After fighting in World War I in 1920, the 2nd Battalion merged with the 1st Battalion. The regiment was disbanded in 1927. The regiment could no longer afford the high costs it incurred in policing the colonies for England. The West Indian Regiment was reformed in 1958 as part of the West Indies Federation. The short-lived federation resulted in the dissolution of the West Indian Regiment. The JDF was established shortly thereafter in 1962.